Walmart employee wouldn't stop groping coworkers, lawsuit says. Now company must pay. Walmart, the pinnacle, the creme de la creme of the American retail shopping experience. This is what you're doing when you're looking for my off-brand television. You're in the back room playing grab ass with an unwilling and unwanting coworker. A Walmart employee wouldn't stop groping at least 3 women he worked with at a store in northern Florida and constantly made sexual comments toward them, according to a newly settled federal lawsuit. A few months after one woman was hired as a sales associate, the employee began lewdly commenting on her body and would run his fingers down her back, brush up against her, slap her buttocks, and put his hands on her hips while passing her. The lawsuit said, when the woman complained about the relentless behavior to upper management at the Walmart in DeFuniak Springs, she wasn't taken seriously, according to an amended complaint filed on her behalf by the U.S. Equal Opportunity Commission. If you remember the story of Joshua Johnson a year or so back, a 28-year-old Walgreens employee in Colorado who was making advances to his 17-year-old coworker. Nobody would listen to her either. Piss poor management turned their back all the way up until he murdered her in the break room. No matter how sorry your asses are as a supervisor, if someone brings this type of complaint your way, you take it seriously. The sexual harassment continued and escalated, the complaint said, and there can't be anything worse than feeling that no one is listening to you and nothing is going to happen until either you quit or until you knock a shelf over on his dirty ass. A store supervisor is accused of witnessing and ignoring the employee grab another female coworker by her waist as she bent down in the cooler of the meat department. According to the complaint, the employee also groped the third coworker from behind by grabbing her waist as she stocked the freezer. The complaint said, and nobody's doing anything about this. This is wild. When the woman complained, no action was taken until a female employee's husband confronted one manager, according to the complaint. What's wild to me is even if you're a scumbag supervisor who doesn't care anything about anybody, your own selfishness should have stepped in and said, hey, this is something that's not going to end well. This is something that I can't afford to be a part of. Walmart gets sued 20 times a day for about 5,000 times per year, and most of those lawsuits are employees. That tells you there's a problem with the chain of command. You can't make everybody happy. It's a huge company, but there's some things that you just can't let slide at all. Walmart fired the employee on November 21st, 2018, after the husband showed up at the store twice to confront the manager about the harassment and Walmart's failure to stop it, the complaint said. Now, Walmart Inc. has agreed to pay $30,000, that's all, to settle the sexual harassment lawsuit, the EEOC said in a February 8th news release. That's not even a year's salary. Walmart does not tolerate discrimination of any kind. Here we go, cookie cutter statements. We are glad we can resolve this matter with the EEOC. Company spokeswoman Kelly Hellbush told McClatchy News on February 8th, Walmart is accused of violating Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, a federal law that prohibits employees from allowing a hostile work environment on the basis of sex when it didn't discipline the harasser or take corrective action after the sales associate's complaints, the EEOC said. I'm biased. I don't care. They should have paid out $1 million just on the strength that nobody listened to them to nip this in the bud in the first place. The only way $30,000 should be acceptable is if they would have let that woman's husband slam that pervert's hands in the car door 2 or 3 times in the parking lot. In settling the lawsuit, Walmart didn't admit to any fault or violation of the law and denied any violation of the law, according to a joint motion for entry of a consent decree filed February 7. Those bastards. Under the consent decree, Walmart will pay $30,000 in damages to the sales associate. The court filing shows Walmart will also give copies of company sexual harassment policies to employees who work at the DeFuniak Springs location, where management must undergo updated training about complying with federal law and preventing sexual harassment, according to the EEOC. They walked away on this. I know Walmart has a shark tank full of lawyers. They have a bunch of bulldogs for attorneys, but this is filthy even for them. So they don't pay any money. $30,000 is like pocket change to them. That's nothing. And then they don't have to openly admit to any wrongdoing to avoid the possibility of any Me Too lawsuits floating around out there. Title VII requires companies to act quickly and seriously when their employees make complaints about sexual harassment or risk violating the law. He was running around the job groping other employees like this is what he came to work to do. Like that was his assignment. EEOC Birmingham District Director Bradley Anderson said in a statement, DeFuniak Springs is about 120 miles northwest of Tallahassee.